that we're dealing with overseas, we're witnessing the price of commodities go through the roof. We've seen wheat, corn, and oil skyrocket recently, also steel, and now I want to talk to you about the next thing I think could increase in price. What's up, YouTube? I'm Cullum Costello, and in today's video we're going to talk about some recent sanction discussions on the Russian power plant Rosatom. If this happens, in my opinion, the price of uranium could skyrocket. So we'll also look at some uranium stocks that you might want to put on your watch list. Please keep in mind that the stock market is very risky and you should never invest any money that you're not willing to lose, and as always, do your own research. Now let's get into the video. The US weighs sanctions on Russian nuclear power supplier Rosatom. The administration is considering imposing sanctions on Russia's state-owned atomic energy company, Rosatom Corporation, a major supplier of fuel and technology to power plants around the world, according to people familiar with the matter. Uranium is used to fuel our nuclear power plants, which makes up about 20% of the electricity in the US. The US, as of right now, is not a producer of uranium. In fact, in 2020, Russia accounted for about 17% of the uranium imported into the US and 23% of the enriched uranium used to power our US commercial fleets of nuclear reactors. In my opinion, if the US moves forward on these sanctions to cut off Rosatom, we could see a substantial increase in the price of uranium. Now let's take a further look at this article, but first, you guys, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button down below. It helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. We're a young channel, we're trying to grow, and it'll help this video get out to other investors. No final decision has been made, and the White House is consulting with the nuclear power industry about the potential impact, said the people, who were granted anonymity to discuss private deliberations.
Wait.
Rosatom is a delicate target because the company and its subsidiaries account for about 35% of global uranium enrichment and has agreements to ship the nuclear fuel to countries across Europe. Any punishment would also have to exempt the work Rosatom does with Iran under the terms of the deal limiting the country's nuclear program.
I don't like it.
It is unclear what the sanctions would mean for US nuclear plants and importers of fuel. Russia accounted for 16.5% of the uranium imported into the US in 2020 and 23% of the enriched uranium needed to power the fleet of US commercial nuclear reactors. The reactors typically need to refuel every 18 to 24 months, and utilities typically buy fuel years in advance and maintain significant inventories.
Who would have thought a nuclear reactor would be so complicated?
Spokespeople for the White House and State Department didn't immediately respond to requests for comment. Any such ban could boost the price of uranium and have a big impact on nuclear operators such as Southern Company and Exelon Corporation, while a possible boon for domestic miners such as Energy Fuels Incorporated and Ur-Energy Incorporated. We cannot afford to have Russian uranium and enrichment, said Chris Gadomski, a nuclear industry analyst with Bloomberg NEF. Russian uranium is cheaper and US doesn't produce any uranium. Next, we'll take a look at the view from the US utilities, then we'll look at some uranium stocks that I believe could gain traction if these sanctions go through. Please keep in mind, I love hearing from each and every one of you, so leave me a comment down below in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. The US utilities push White House not to sanction Russian uranium. And here we're looking at uranium pellets, which are used to fuel our power plants in the US. This was back on March 1st. The US nuclear power industry is lobbying the White House to allow uranium imports from Russia to continue despite the escalating conflict in Ukraine, with cheap supplies of the fuel seen as key to keeping American electricity prices low, according to two sources familiar with the matter. The United States relies on Russia and its allies Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan for roughly half of the uranium powering its nuclear plants. About 22.8 million pounds or 10.3 million kilograms in 2020, which in turn produce about 20% of US electricity. Next, we're going to take a look at the uranium stocks that I'm paying attention to in case these sanctions go through, as I believe they could skyrocket in price. But first, you guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below and join the family. It's free, and all you're going to do is learn about more ways to make money. Here we're looking at ticker symbol UEC for Uranium Energy Corporation. Right now, at the time of this video, it's trading at $5.21 per share after hours. Uranium Energy Corporation now has a market cap of $1.41 billion. Let's take a look at the share structure. Uranium Energy Corporation has 267.2 million outstanding shares. When you add on the 4.5 million warrants and 11.3 million options and stock awards, it comes to a fully diluted structure of 283 million shares. Next, we're going to take a look at the stock charts for UEC and see how it's been performing lately on the news of these possible sanctions. Here's the one-day candlestick chart over the last year for UEC stock, or Uranium Energy Corporation. So each of these candles represent how the stock traded that day over the last year. UEC stock has seen some attention lately, trading up on this news today over 10%. In my opinion, if the US was to go through with these sanctions, we could retest and possibly break through all-time highs. Next on the list is ticker symbol UUUU, or Energy Fuels. Please let me know in the comment section if you're involved in this company or what you think about uranium stocks. Here we are under ticker symbol UUUU for Energy Fuels. Now let's scroll down and see if we can check out the share structure. As we scroll down on ticker symbol UUUU, we can see that they have 156.26 million shares outstanding. Here we are on the one-day, one-year candlestick chart for ticker symbol UUUU, or Energy Fuels Incorporated. So each of these candlesticks would represent how the share price traded over one day in the last year. One thing I don't like when I'm witnessing this chart is the gap down below at about $7.51 that will eventually fill, in my opinion. When looking at this chart, I'd look for that gap at $7.51 to fill and hopefully become support and then move to a higher leg to the upside. But moving forward, UUUU stock, or Energy Fuels Incorporated stock, is one I'd definitely keep on my watch list, especially if the sanctions in Russia follow through. Next uranium stock we'll discuss is ticker symbol DNN, or Denison Mines Corporation. DNN stock, or Denison Mines Corporation, is a uranium mining company with a market cap of $1.43 billion. Denison Mines, or DNN stock, threw in a bottom wick to fill the gap at about 139 to 140. It has also broken previous resistance around 170 to 171, so I'd look for that to form support. If the US follows through with these sanctions on Rosatom, I'd be looking for Denison Mines Corporation stock, or DNN stock, to move to the upside and possibly retest 52-week highs of around $2.14. But in this recent volatile market, we've seen anything can happen, in my opinion. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight, you guys. I want to thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. Do me a favor. Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of these uranium stocks. Let me know if you're in the market, let me know if you're sitting it out, or just say what's up. I love hearing from each and every one of you, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Till next time, I'm Cullum Costello. Now hit that subscribe button, tap that thumbs up, and go out and get money.